Madison Bumgardner is a two-time All-Star, and the lefty from North Carolina is the ace of the staff in San Francisco. But much like the Giants, he's fell on some hard times. With only one win in his last 6 starts, Bumgardner needs to finish off the first half on a high note. Next.
We've got a gorgeous day for baseball here at AT&T Park. Our fans filing in for the last time in the first half of the season as we wrap up this 3-game series. Hi again, everybody. I'm Dwayne Kuiper. Alongside me is Mike Krukow. Well, a win would do a lot of things. It would win the series. It would also propel the Giants into the All-Star break with a win. And I'm saying here's the formula, Mike. Score early. Bumgardner pitches great. And then you enjoy a happy break. How about that? Any flaws in that?
No. In fact, I'm in. There's really no way to explain as to why the Giants have the worst record in baseball since mid-June. But one of the things that is equally puzzling is why Bumgardner has lost his last 3 games. And Bumgardner couldn't tell you. So I think today, start a new trend. I know it's the last day of the first half, but consider it this is the biggest game of the year. And approach it as such and go out there and play like your life is on the line.
Well, we're going to broadcast this game like it's the biggest game of the year. You can be assured of that. All right, when we come back, we will have the lineups on the first pitch right after this.
Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Head to Jack in the Box for the new Jalapeno Ranch or Barbecue Ultimate Cheeseburgers at participating restaurants. And by Toyota, #1 in MPG, durability and resale value. Toyota, let's go places.
Back here at AT&T Park as we get ready for Giants baseball. Our game time weather is presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Get to the beach. The admission-free boardwalk is now open daily. 69 degrees here at the yard. Winds at 10 miles per hour. Humidity at 70%. And it is a nice sunny day. All right, let's take a look at Kirk Gibson's lineup. It'll be Inciarte followed by Prado and then Goldschmidt, and he loves lefties. Trumbo, Hill, and Ross. The catcher will be Gozwich. Ahmed is hitting in the 9th spot, and then it's the pitcher the Giants never seen before. It's Vidal Nuno.
On the hill today for the Giants will be Madison Bumgardner. 20th start of the year for Bumgardner. He's 9-7 with a 3.36 ERA. See the 123 strikeouts against 32 walks. He has had great stuff all year. However, he is in a bit of a slump. He has lost his last 3 ball games, and in those 3 games, his ERA is 7.50. So today for Bumgardner, it's going to be the hopes that he can find a more consistent arm slot that will allow him to control both sides of the plate, especially with that fastball.
So here we go. Is Bumgardner about ready to throw to Inciarte, and the first pitch of the ball game is struck into left field for a base hit.
All right, let's take a look at the defense playing behind Bumgardner today. Starting the Giants outfield from left to right, it's going to be Morse, Blanco, and Pence, the best arm in right field. Crawford and Sandoval on the left side of the infield. Adrianza and Arias on the right side. And Buster Posey is going to be in the squad, putting down the signs.
Yeah, Belt was a late scratch due to back spasms. Consequently, Arias moves from second to first, and Adrianza gets a late call. And it does mess up with your lineup when one of your big bats goes down at the last second.
Hey, the Gamer Babe from Chico's here. A lot of Gamer Babes up in Chico. And her mom's here, who, by the way, is also a Gamer Babe. So welcome.
So the hitter is Martin Prado, and he takes down low. Prado hitting .269, 4 home runs, 35 driven in. Prado hitting at the top of the lineup for the first time in this 3-game series. Inciarte with 6 steals. So Bumgardner is going to have to give Buster Posey a shot, and that pitch is not close. It's 2-0.
When Madison Bumgardner will slump, it usually is always the same problem. He gets an exaggerated upper body turn, and it's a big turn to begin with. I mean, that's one of the things that is really part of his success, is that he hides the ball so long you don't see him with that low 3/4 release, but at times he gets a little bit too big with his turn.
And Gabe Morales calls that a strike. He's the home plate umpire.
And he has an excellent strike zone for pitchers. Morales, a low ball preference, but he's the type of umpire that looks for strikes, and he's very consistent. And we've seen him a couple times. Very good zone.
Inciarte with his lead. Bumgardner, 2 balls and 1 strike to Prado. And he will soft toss to first, and Inciarte back.
I thought Inciarte may have had a little bit of a lean going to second base.
It did look like it. You see Goldschmidt, the National League starting first baseman for Tuesday's game. And the pitch is wide, so it's 3-1.
And this becomes a big pitch. We talked about the last 3 starts that Bumgardner has had. I mean, he's not throwing with a lot of confidence of late, not the kind of confidence we saw him have in the month of June.
Prado should get something to hit. We'll see if Inciarte, he does not go, and there's a base hit to right field. Inciarte is going to try for third, and the throw, and guess what? They got him. And that is huge.
That is beyond huge. And you really can't fault Inciarte, who's got excellent speed. He saw the bobble by Hunter Pence. Pence coming in aggressively. This ball hops up on him, but Pence, who has an outstanding arm, very strong, very accurate. In fact, this might be something he considers in the future.
And right about here, you think it's going to be close. And Pablo Sandoval putting a great tag on the wide throw. And that's our Exmo. It's brought to you by your local Toyota dealer. You can see just how far Sandoval had to come back to put the tag on. And instead of first and third, nobody out, you got runner at first with one out. That is amazingly huge.
And here's Goldschmidt, and he fouls it out of play.
Especially when you consider Paul Goldschmidt, their best hitter, is stepping into the batter's box. One more look at a nice recovery from Hunter Pence.
You're 100% right. Inciarte was not going to go until he saw the bobble. So you're saying Hunter Pence ought to work on just deacon guys like that, as this is fouled out of play?
That's exactly right. I mean, when it was all said and done, it wasn't really close. And it wasn't as accurate a throw as we normally see from Hunter Pence. So there was plenty of time for Sandoval to get the ball and then come back and apply the tag.
Goldschmidt does have a home run lifetime against Bumgardner. He's 5 for 22. And he runs that pitch down and in. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And if you're Bumgardner, you're going to feel like things are going good. Could have been first and second, nobody out. Now you got a guy on first with 1 out. Got him on a pitch in the dirt, and a nice block by Buster Posey.
Time now for our Nissan keys to the game, and Bumgardner have better command. That will be a big key as he looks to find a rhythm that will allow him to control the strike zone. Number 2, get the crowd in it early, and if you're the offense, you got to have base hits and you got to score some runs.
So here's Mark Trumbo. Trumbo hitting .209, 7 home runs, 19 driven in. We'll keep an eye on Prado. He's got 2 steals. And Trumbo with a big home run swing and a miss. And it's no balls and 1 strike. Trumbo has faced Bumgardner just twice during the regular season. And he's 1 for 2. You can see what he's done in this series. And a backdoor breaking ball, and it's 0-2.
He's going good. You're going to see him use both sides of the plate with the breaking ball. It's always been one of his strengths, is to be able to use both sides of the plate with that breaking ball. Now, a lot of right-handers will give up on that breaking ball. That low 3/4 breaker he has, it's big, and it's easy to give up on it, but you cannot do that if you're hitting off a Bumgardner.
In the dirt. No swing as the ball gets away from Buster Posey, so it'll be a wild pitch. That's Dale Scott at first, who made the call on the non-swing.
A little scud out there in front of home plate.
I think it was a good call.
It's so difficult for the big guys to stop that bat head once they commit, but I think he did.
Tapped foul right through the third base coaching box. Well, you're an all-star for different reasons. One reason, you make good throws, and Hunter Pence did. Bumgardner, an all-star. Got him, and that'll end the inning. So, a small hand clap for Hunter Pence. Giants are coming up. out Bruce Bochy's starting lineup, and it's brought to you by Coors Light. Pence, Blanco, and then the Panda, and Sandoval always does well against the Diamondbacks. It'll be Posey, Morris, and Arias. Hitting in the 7th slot will be Adrianza, Crawford 8th, and Bumgardner 9th.
Vidal Nuno, the left-handed starter today for the Diamondbacks, and take a look at what he has done. Just acquired from the Yankees when Brandon McCarthy went over to New York. 18 games, he's made 15 starts, 2-5 with a 4.98 ERA, 67 strikeouts. He's a 4-pitch guy. You can see a high 80s fastball. He's got a little natural cut to it. He'll try and sink it. He's got a curveball, a slider, and a changeup. Probably a changeup is his best, especially pitch against righties. Probably a slider against lefties. Make it start number 2 as a Diamondback.
Well, start number 1 didn't go too bad.
Hey,
7 innings, 3 hits, 1 walk, 7 strikeouts, no runs. Swing and a miss, 1 ball and 1 strike.
Yeah, you make a lot of friends coming into a new town having a start like that. But right away, they expect you to do that every time.
Pence wraps it to third, but Prado on the backhand.
Let's take a look at the Diamondbacks defense starting in their outfield from left to right. It'll be Trumbo, Inciarte, and Ross. On the left side of the infield will be Ahmed and Prado. Hill and Goldschmidt will patrol the right side of the field, and Tuffy and Goswish will be in the squad putting down the signs.
Here's Blanco. Blanco moved from the 7th slot to the 2nd slot with Belt on the shelf. And he shows bunt, and he takes down low. Prado charging in from third, as you would expect. Blanco takes it high. He's hitting .223. Blanco pops it up. It'll be Hill. All right, let's check in with Amy G. Amy, what do you got?
All right, guys, an early birthday present for Tim Hudson. He turns 39 years young tomorrow, and he is headed to the 2014 All-Star Game. He was just named today as a replacement for Madison Bumgardner on the National League All-Star team. Bruce Bochy said he is very deserving. He's had a very good first half and exceeded expectations. This will be Tim's 4th trip to the Midsummer Classic. He went twice with the A's, once with the Braves, and now as a Giant. Congratulations, Tim Hudson.
That is great news. Good for him. Here's Sandoval.
Well, he is indeed worthy of the honor, but to be able to do it in 3 different uniforms is pretty special. And that really sets him apart.
Sandoval takes in tight. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. I'm sure at some point during this game the Giants will make some type of an announcement on the scoreboard. And I would imagine he's going to receive quite an ovation. Good swing by Sandoval, 1 and 2. I thought I read somewhere where he was going fishing. Well, they got lakes in Minneapolis, don't they? Isn't it the land of the lakes?
Well, it is. They got 10,000 of them. At least that's what the license plates say.
Wide, 2 and 2.
But his wife is on her way now, and then he's going to fly in today with his son and his dog. And they're heading to Minneapolis.
For them. And a base hit for Sandoval, as he does it so very often. He keeps those hands back, and he just pokes that ball into center field.
Well, if you're Vidal Nuno and you make a pitch like this, you're thinking you did your job. And for Sandoval, who's always been a really good low ball hitter, I mean, once he gets that front foot down, he can defend. And I think the entire time he's up there just trying to go back up the middle. And I think that's really why he was successful. He wasn't trying to do too much in the 2-strike count.
Buster Posey at 276. And he takes down low. Buster in the game yesterday went 0 for 4. He did not play in the win on Friday night. And he wraps one to left. And it's going to be Trumbo who's going to run it down, and that'll end the inning. Second inning coming up.
Of run support. He said there's stuff like that you go through during a season that's like anything else. Whether it's an injury or not playing good, you just keep fighting and you come out on the other side. And that, from a veteran, puts it right in a nutshell. Well said, Ryan Vogelsong. Keep fighting.
Now, what you say when you get home, it's fine. You can say something else.
Yeah. You can have a good conversation with your dog.
Here's Hill, who takes the pitch wide, 1-0.
But somewhere down the road, he's going to give up 6 runs in 5 1/3 and come out of it with a win.
I hope so. Fouled off of Posey.
Take a look at the major league ranks in pitching. Team ERA 2.97, runs per game 2.42, 4th in the league in pitching. Last in producing runs, and it explains why the Giants just cannot get untracked. But the pitching is there. They've had an opportunity to win just about every game because of the pitching. And that's your goal as a pitcher, to keep your team in it, give them a chance. And there's going to be slumps with the bat. This one has prolonged, and that is what has been so frustrating for the Giants.
Hill chases a high fastball, and this one is hit straight back. Two balls and 2 strikes. Former Giant Cody Ross on deck. Hill's got some ownage on Bumgardner. Not so much, he's got a ton of hits against him, but the hits that he does have, he's got 5 for 20, 3 doubles and 2 home runs.
That's kind of ownage right there.
Well, it's extra base ownage, that's for sure, but not this time.
Good hard cutter there.
Interested in owning a piece of Tim Lincecum's second no-hitter? Well, this is what you do. You go to sfgiants.com/Timmy no hitter, and you can find out what's up for bid, and then you can submit your bid. sfgiants.com/Timmy no hitter. Auction ends Sunday, today, It ends today at 8 o'clock. Cody Ross right back to Bumgardner.
And that's a one pitch out. Better than a strikeout. Always talk about the position that Bumgarner's in after he throws the ball. I mean, he's in a good position to defend not only as himself but his position.
Here's Gozwich, the D-backs catcher.
Watch how he squares up and gets in a defensive position after he throws the ball. By letting a pitcher see both your shoulders, you can, by letting a hitter see both your shoulders, you can go left and right as a pitcher. And from Bumgarner's perspective, I mean, he really is the type of a pitcher that gives himself good range to go and get balls hit back up the middle. Not as good as Kirk Reeder, but pretty close.
Well, he's another infielder.
Well, that's what you are once you get rid of the ball. You go from pitcher to infield as soon as that ball leaves your hand.
Got him, and that'll end the inning. 4 strikeouts now for Bumgardner, and Morse will lead things off.
Today we're going to look at some of the highlights of the first half, and it's our Togo's big play, the Togo's way. This happened July 5th, trailing 3-2 in San Diego. Into the ninth inning, Mike Morse hits a home run off Houston Street to tie it. Brandon Bell hit a 2-run shot in the 10th to lift the Giants to a 5-3 victory. It was only the third time in the San Francisco era that the Giants hit a tying homer in the ninth and a game winner in the 10th. Jim Ray Hart, Willie McCovey did it in 66. Aldretti and Maldonado did it in 86. And that's our Togo's big play, the Togo's way.
And Morse sculls one to center field. On the move is Inciarte, and in front of the wall he makes the catch.
Hey, you had me going there for a second.
I'm out of practice.
Well, yeah, you have been out of practice, but a good pitch to hit. A little cut fastball right above the belt. It may have got in on him just a little bit. But as strong as Morse is, he didn't really need to hit it on the screws to get it out of here.
Here's Arias, who takes a strike. Arias 186, 8 RBIs. And what you're hoping to see out of Arias is he's had some at bats yesterday, get some at bats today, and that's when you get your swing back. You don't get them back when you get one at bat every 3 days. Breaks his bat. Hill's got a chance to charge and throw, and Arias is retired.
That contact off the bat made a funny noise.
Yeah. Yes, it did. So here's Adrianza. If you just joined us, a late addition to the lineup with Brandon Belt getting scratched due to some back spasms. And the pitch is high to Adrianza. 1 ball and no strikes.
Well, who knows? Maybe it's Adrianza who gets 3 hits today and the game winner.
And a big fly.
2 big flies.
Base hit down the left field line. And Adrianza's got a double.
Now, when he went down to rehab down in Fresno, he may have gotten a swing back. He was lighting it up. And here he goes down and beats a little lazy cut right down at the knees out over the plate. Just drop the head and start running. And with Martin Prado playing in on the grass, really, he had never had a chance. If he plays his normal position, that's an OUT.
So here's Crawford. First base is open. See if Crawford gets anything to hit. He does, and he fouls it back. He had a pretty good swing. That's the problem is we sit up here and we think, is he going to get anything to hit? When you're hitting 8th, that's the same thing that you think.
Well, it's nice to be a good hitting pitcher because your 8th place hitter will see some pitches to hit because of that.
And that pitch is down low. Well, that's true with Bumgardner on deck. And a bit wide. Bumgardner's still hoping that there are 3 or 4 guys on the National League Home Run Derby that are listed to participate, that they get maybe like the stomach flu or something. Because he wants to be in it.
I'll say this, he would not embarrass himself.
2-2 now to Crawford.
Of course, the problem with the Home Run Derby contest is that you don't have that batting cage around you. That's like a security blanket for a lot of guys. Right. Once you take that away, the hitter feels like he's naked. I don't know if Bumgardner could handle that.
It was my problem. I took that cage away, I lost all my power. 2-2 pitch to Crawford. And now it's 3-2.
But this is the pitch right here. If you're pitching to an 8th place hitter, 3-2 count, open base, you're not going to give him anything out of the middle of the plate. If you do, it's a mistake. Straight away in the infield, slightly to left in the outfield.
Ooh, a good swing and a foul back. It remains at 3-2.
Boy, he had a pretty good pitch to hit. That was not like knee-high corner magic right there. This is right out over the plate. Pitching coach and a manager sees this type of pitch in that type of count with an open base and a pitcher on deck, they are not enthusiastic.
Crawford with 37 runs batted in on the year. And the payoff. And he walked him.
That's a good pitch. All right, time now for our forward right choice. We go back to April 11th of this year. Madison Bumgardner hits a grand slam off Rockies' Jorge De La Rosa in the bottom of the 4th inning right here at AT&T Park. Bumgardner was the first Giants pitcher to hit a grand slam since Sean Estes did it in 2000, and the 7th pitcher in Giants history to do so. The Giants would go on to win that ball game against the Rockies 6-5.
Here's Bumgardner, and he takes a breaking ball for a called strike. 9 for 37. That's the number for Bumgardner with 8 RBIs. And if he sees a fastball, I don't believe it's going to be in the strike zone.
Well, if he sees a fastball, it's going to be on his hands. I mean, that little cut fastball for Nuno is his best weapon against righties, especially guys who have a little length in their swing. And Bumgardner's a qualifier in that regard.
1-2.
He got the foot off the ground there. He was doing the Fred Flintstone yucca-do right there.
Well, there's nothing stopping him from doing it again. Hit to third. Prado's got it. He'll go the short way, and that'll end the inning. Giants strand a pair. Third inning coming up. No score. McDonald's True Stories, July 3rd. That's a year ago. Tim Lincecum. Here's the 2-2 pitch to Alonso. Swinging a drive into left center field. Blanco waiting. He puts it away, and that's a no-hitter for Tim Lincecum. And now all of his teammates out onto the field, right behind the mound, as they are mobbing Tim Lincecum, as he has thrown a no-hitter here in San Diego. And, well, there's a little bit more to that story. Is the shortstop Nick Ahmed steps in. He threw 148 pitches. He had a manager and a pitching coach that their stomachs were in knots, and whole fan base as well. Not to mention 4 broadcasters. And he ended up striking out 13. 4 walks, 13 strikeouts, 148 pitches. How about that? Bruce Bochy was just, he didn't know what to do. Just sit back.
We asked him what the limit was, but 150 was going to be a real consideration of being taken out of the game.
A high and foul. It stays 0-2. And even at that, I don't think he would have taken him out.
The Quad Candlestick, 2010 World Champs. That is a very cool tat. Yeah, he's paid his dues.
Arias can't get it. It's down the right field line. And Pence is going to get to it quickly. So now the pitcher, Nuno, has got an easy choice to make.
I'm thinking Arias a bit surprised he didn't get this ball.
Yeah, I think he thought he had it.
Just needed about 5 more inches of leather.
third hit for the D-backs. Nuno bunts it, and it's a good bunt. It's got some spin on it, and Posey throws him out.
Well, that's a strange way of getting it done, but when it was all said and done, it was a perfect bunt. And Buster Posey had to make a pretty nice play. It's not how they draw it up in the playbook, but Nuno getting the end result and a productive out.
Inciarte hit a ball past Crawford to open up the ball game, and there's a pickoff play, and it's very close. And you don't see many pitcher to middle infielder pickoff plays that are close. That one was.
I'm not so sure they didn't get him. Lance Barksdale, the second base umpire, making the correct call. Good call. If the throw is lower, they got him.
Well, I know this. Bumgardner's not afraid to put the pickoff play on.
Well, he's not afraid to throw a 96-mile-an-hour fastball to his shortstop.
I mean, I've played with guys that you couldn't put the pickoff play on because they'd throw it right to the center fielder. And then it was your fault for putting it on. Pitch is low and away, 1 ball and 1 strike. One ball and 1 strike. That's a good looking group. Like Angel Pagan fans. Lifted out to Morris. Right, it is Angel Pagan bobblehead day today.
Yep, folks are lined outside the stadium quite early. There's a gamer babe in training. Well, listen to your mother, and you'll get to where you need to go. There's a Pagan fan. We miss Angel Pagan.
Yes, we do. There's the bobblehead.
And that is the slide into home on his inside the park walk-off home run he had against the Colorado Rockies.
They needed the Tim Flannery bobblehead as part of that.
That's true.
Remember his celebration running back to the dugout?
The most hysterical thing I've ever seen.
Here's Prado. Prado takes wide.
When he went down the line, he was waving him in, and then the exaltation of scoring, winning, and then watching the Flannery dance back to the dugout. It was pretty entertaining.
Well, he was the only one going in that direction. Everybody else was coming out to celebrate. So in the meantime, he probably high-fived 30 guys as he went back.
Oh, that was good. Good looking bobblehead, too.
1-0 to Prado. In tight, 2-0. Prado had a line drive to right field for a base hit in the first inning.
Dangerous hitter. And he is in the driver's seat. Now, this is where you will get a little bit more to hit because of who's on deck. Paul Goldschmidt in the on-deck circle.
And it's high. It's 3-0.
Martin Prado has been red hot coming into the series. Bumgardner knows it. But it isn't a situation where you just would automatically just corner pitch and try and take and wouldn't mind giving up a base to take that open base at first.
There's a strike. It's 3-1.
And that's when it's nice to be hitting in front of Paul Goldschmidt, as Martin Prado is, because you get pitches in these situations. You get strikes. And for a hot hitter, that's what he's looking for. Something in the strike zone.
And he bangs this one off his foot as he goes down hard. Never lost his bat.
Well, you see it a lot when Bumgardner pitches with that natural cut that he has working his way into righties and the slider and really a lot of hard stuff coming in. And when they make contact, and then hit the shin protector.
Yeah, it did. It hit right in the middle of it.
And he's still having a hard time walking off. If he doesn't have that shin guard there, his day is done.
Well, I guarantee you that there's a reason, obviously, that shin guard is there. Probably because there's a big bruise underneath that shin guard.
Yeah, about the size of a hamburger.
So even if you walk by and just tap it a little bit, it's going to hurt. Remember when Jermaine Dye actually broke his ankle?
Uh-huh.
So it's 3-2 now to Prado. And we've said this before. The problem now as a hitter is you think you're going to hit it there again. And a base hit to left field. Morris's throw will go to the cutoff man. Cutoff. It's 1-0. Arizona.
And that is an example of why it's nice to be hitting in front of a guy that has a reputation of a Paul Goldschmidt. You get strikes. And a hot hitter like Prado with a runner at second base, 2 strikes, he can hurt you, and he does.
So here's Goldschmidt, who struck out in the first. And he takes a strike. Backdoored him. It's now 0-2. The lead at first by Prado. Way outside, 1-2. Giants will have the top of the order coming up in the 3rd inning. No score at Dodger Stadium. Padres and Dodgers, a 1-0 win for LA last night. So the Padres are doing what they have been doing. They've had great pitching, just had a hard time scoring. They did beat the Dodgers the night before. 1-2. Hit on the ground to Sandoval. Sandoval will go the short way, and that'll end the inning. A run on 2 hits, 1 left. Pence, Blanco, Sandoval coming up. And now it's Hunter Pence that will lead things off. Pence bounced out to third to open up the bottom of the first, and here he pops it out of play.
Yep. Angel Pagan bobblehead day. And we all collectively can say we miss Angel Pagan.
Pence hits a high fly ball to right. Cody Ross broke back, now in. Well, we talked about the home run by Angel Pagan and how Tim Flannery's butt was on the line on this. It ended the game, and he was so happy. I'm out of here.
That's a happy boy.
He went all the way into the clubhouse.
He was as happy a third base coach as we'd ever seen.
Oh, my goodness. Here's Blanco. Blanco takes down low. He popped out to the second baseman Hill in the first inning. Here he drives one to right, and Blanco's got a base hit. It looked like more of a control swing for Gregor Blanco.
All right, take a look at the pitch he gets to do something with. It's right out there out over the plate mid-thigh. And it always looks so well balanced, and he's got a little compact swing. You think, why does he not hit for more average when you see a swing like that? It is a bit perplexing.
Here's Sandoval, who singled in the first. And a breaking ball for a strike.
He'll do that a lot to right-handed hitters. He'll throw that big curveball. You may not see it late in the count, but you'll see it early in the count. And I think for the most part, when you're taking your bat against Nuno as a right-handed hitter, you're aware of the cut fastball. You're aware of the middle in location that you're going to see something hard on that side of the plate. And you kind of forget about that curveball. And he takes advantage of it.
0-1 to Sandoval. Sandoval breaks his bat, and it's going to carry out onto Ahmed, the shortstop. Well, the Dodgers are back here at AT&T Park on Friday the 25th. That's Orange Friday. Sunday is a 5:05 start, and the first 20,000 fans will receive Giant sunglasses presented by Denny's. Visit sfgiants.com/tickets. Here's Buster Posey. And Buster takes a strike at the knees.
Well, he roasted one his first at bat. Ball right on the screws, but it found the glove of Mark Trumbo in left field. But he cannot hit the ball any harder than what he did. So he's got to be seeing Nuno pretty well. Fastball changeup combination, a bit low with the changeup.
1 ball and 1 strike. Those which couldn't find it for a second. Dave Fleming, by the way, is going to be in here 4, 5, and 6. I'll head over to the KNBR side. John Miller on assignment. I'm thinking Flem's got some offense.
Well, I hope he brings some offense.
Yeah, I think
he may be good for a couple right here.
And a quick toss to first, and Blanco is back.
Do not get picked off 2 days in a row.
No.
Isn't there an unwritten rule that says that for base runners?
Yeah.
Blanco was picked off in yesterday's ball game.
A high strike, 2-2. A ball in the gap with the speed of Blanco. Giants could tie this thing up. It's 2-2 to Buster Posey. Posey hits it on the ground to Hill. Hill wrestles it and throws to first, and that'll end the inning. Dave Fleming, he'll be in here. I'll head over to the radio side. Tim Flannery, in his own way of celebrating an inside the park home run.
Now the booth, Dave Fleming, welcome.
Hi, Mike, on this Sunday.
To bring some offense?
I hope so. I mean, I think the Giants have had some good at-bats today, but it's sort of going that way. Good at-bats or not, runs are hard to come by.
Buster Posey hits the ball right on the screws twice, and he's got with the little bird left on the rock. Nothing.
It's been that kind of week for him and for a lot of these Giants hitters. Meanwhile, the D-backs were pretty opportunistic against Bumgardner in that third. Prado knocked in what is the only run of the game so far. So Bumgardner back to work, and Trumbo takes a curve for ball one. I think it's an ice cream kind of day.
Ice cream, you scream. We all scream for ice cream.
Your flavor choice is? Trumbo, just a little dribbler to second. Mike gets time to think about it. One out.
Well, I like caramel, graham crackers, vanilla.
You want some salt in your sweet, okay?
Yeah, I do.
Or you could just pile it, hot fudge, whipped cream, and whatever. And
I like caramel sauce more than hot chocolate. But
oh, you do?
Yeah.
Well, that's where you and I part ways.
Well, but we both agree on one thing: the Ghirardelli sundaes here are ridiculous.
Yes, they are. Strike one to Aaron Hill. Midsummer Classic on Tuesday, the All-Star game. Hill, foul ball, 0-2.
It's a great tradition. I mean, I can't believe how organized it is now compared to the one team I made in 1986. There was no home run contest. It was just kind of show up, take batting practice, and then go get them the next day. In fact, it was so bad in 1986, they assembled everybody for a team picture. Didn't come out.
So you have no team picture?
Well, they got one, but everybody's blurred. You can't even tell who's there.
Oh.
It's like, I make one All-Star team, and they don't even have a picture?
Now, that's hard to believe.
I feel the same way.
Today you'd have 75 pictures because everybody's family member be using their cell phones to. I mean, you have hundreds of pictures.
Yeah, well, 1986, not the case.
One and two here to Aaron Hill. Bumgardner needed a new baseball, so there was just a little delay. He bounced that one. Did Hill swing? No, apparently. Posey immediately grabbed it and went to tag Hill. I think there are a lot of umpires. Bochy didn't like it, but there are a lot of umpires where the hitter's trying to sell the fact that he didn't swing and he doesn't want to break for first on the ball in the dirt. The umpire's not going to call it a swing.
Yeah, you got to hold your ground there. That's one you don't have to run. But that was one of those 50-50. I don't think he did. Sometimes it gets called though.
2-2. Foul ball. Well, one thing about the All-Star game, and I do think that baseball does need to at least consider some options, whether it's an extra off day or whatever it is, move the All-Star game to Wednesday, something like that, because I do think that as organized as it is now, these guys go and there is zero downtime. I mean, it's one event after another. A little ground ball. It's on the ball. Nice play. Throws him out. 2 down. And we'll hold that thought and check in with Amy G.
All right, gentlemen, we have a new Hum BB. It's ready at csnbayarea.com. I sat down with Brandon Crawford this time. We talked a little bit about Bruce Bochy. We did some impersonations. Yes, you'll have to check it out. We also found out who Brandon enjoys eating dinner with on the road. Which player picks up the check? Check it out. Hum BB, csnbayarea.com. David Mike.
Now, if you really got Brandon Crawford to do a Bruce Bochy impersonation, I'm giving Amy credit for that. I mean, we love Brandon, but he's not the guy I would necessarily pick to be ripping off the impersonations.
He's sneaky funny.
Yeah, he's got a great sense of humor. Cody Ross pulled that one foul.
Our ball dude down there, George Zarzana, he made an effort for it, but he was a little tardy.
Yeah,
we always say that the double flap helmets are tired. I think George needs one.
Yeah. Hang in there, George. Curve.
All right, I got this one. Ew. But another thing, too, when you put on your baseball uni, don't wear a watch, George.
He's got places to go, Mike. He's trying to keep track of the whole thing.
Niners fan did a nice play. Kind of surprised himself.
That one is hit to left and pretty well hit, but Morse is there, and the Diamondbacks are retired in order. Morse himself is going to lead off in the last of the fourth. 1-0 Arizona.
The San Francisco Giants. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of San Francisco Baseball Associates, LLC.
MLB.TV Premium is the #1 live streaming sports service. There are millions of subscribers. You can watch every out-of-market game live in true HD on over 400 devices. Visit sfgiants.com for details. Great scene out of McCovey Cove. Final game before the All-Star break. Last of the fourth. Giants trailing Arizona 1-0. 3 Giants headed to Minneapolis. Bumgardner, Pence, and now Tim Hudson's going for the All-Star festivities. The only point I was making, I think the players absolutely love the Derby, all the events, the parade, whatnot. But I do think sometimes these All-Stars come back from the break if they go to the game and they're more tired than they were beforehand.
Especially if you're a first-timer. Because it is one of the most incredible adrenaline hits you're ever going to get.
So just being in that game, just being there for the game, that could be exhausting. I remember when Tim Lincecum went for the first time and he came back and told us that. I mean, what a jolt it was to be on the mound.
Well, and when you have an adrenaline hit where it soars, I mean, you're going to pay a negative side to it. 3 or 4 days after it, you're going to be flat as a pancake. The worst start I had in 1986 was the first start after the All-Star game. I was in Chicago and it was hot. I never recovered. Nice play, George. Kinda. George got closer anyway.
Yeah, nice play.
It's kinda.
Sorta.
Everything but catch the ball. There's Darryl Galt, the other ball dude on the first base.
George seems to be getting most of the action.
National League also named Houston Street an All-Star to replace Tyson Ross.
And not surprising. Morris got jammed there.
I think there were 4 starting pitchers that were named to an All-Star team that started today. Bumgardner and Ross, 2 of the 4. I forget the other 2. But once you start that Sunday game, you can't play the Tuesday game. You're not eligible.
An extra day might at least help alleviate that problem. I mean, it's not great for baseball that so many of the big pitchers in the game can't appear in the game. You'd like to see them in there.
Well, we've had this discussion every year, and I do believe it should be a Wednesday game. I think every team should get 4 days on the break.
Yeah.
Especially now with the way travel has really become more difficult. It's hard on you.
Morris having a long battle here with Nuno. Pulls another one foul.
He's wearing George Zarzana out. All right. How close did George come this time?
Well, we know the glove came off.
George, take the watch off. You'd be a vacuum cleaner. All right. How we got this one? George, you got it. Hey, you do. That says it all.
Hit it to the other side. Ball 3 with the changeup.
He's ready.
Oh yeah, just looking as perky as can be. Morris goes down. So long at bat there, but Nuno gets his first strikeout, 1 away. One other change I'd like to see, nobody's asking me, but they play this futures game today and basically compete against other big league games. And I love that futures game. I think it's a really, really cool and relatively new invention. And I'd like to see that maybe on the Monday on its own time slot, not having to compete. You can watch the future stars play.
Yep.
Have the Derby, home run derby on Tuesday, play the All-Star game Wednesday.
I am totally in. I mean, nobody's watching the futures game unless you're a relative.
Yeah.
And that is something I'd like to see.
The Giants have a pitcher in the game this year, Edwin Escobar. He's going to be in the game. They map out the order of the pitchers in that prospects game. He's going to get in early for the international team, the world team. Arias chases one in the dirt there. Strike 3 swinging. He thought maybe he got a piece of it, but no.
At least he was going to act like he did.
Trying to sell it. And Nuno now is getting in a little better groove, and that's not good news for the Giants. They were hitting the ball hard against him early, including this guy, Adrianza, late into the lineup. And he doubled in his first at bat. Behind in the count 0-1.
Well, that little injury that he had put him on the disabled list may be something that turns out to be a good thing for him, because he got a chance to go down to Fresno and get some at bats.
Yeah, it's funny because before he got hurt here, I mean, he wasn't playing a whole lot, but his swing it started to come around. He was swinging the bat better. Hits that one right back to Nuno, and it'll be a 1-2-3 inning. On to the fifth, 1-0. Diamondbacks lead.
Day here at the ballpark today, and over 1,000 Girl Scouts were in attendance. And before the game, the Giants highlighted the achievements of girls and women in sports, both on and off the field, in partnership with the Bay Area's Women's Sports Initiative and Coaching Corps. And it was a very powerful group of women that were introduced.
It was. There's a one-hopper, nicely backhanded by Adrianza, and goes Wish is retired one away here in the fifth. Well, Rennell Brooks-Moon was in there. You saw her as a part of that ceremony. Lots of our well-known writers who cover sports all throughout the Bay Area and beyond. Some great athletes.
Yeah, Marie Tuitt, San Jose State University. Judy Sweet, the only female to ever serve as the NC2A president.
Did you already mention Amy G?
Amy G was there. Debbie Gallus of the A's, Juliana Paoli from the Giants in San Jose. Joan Ryan and Michelle Smith, Gwen Knapp, the power brokers of the Bay Area.
That's it.
Stacy Slaughter, our own Stacy Slaughter. It was a great day.
1-1 to Nick Ahmed.
And those women provide a lot of encouragement to a lot of young girls who are aspiring to be athletes.
Great role model. Sandoval throws out the shortstop. 2 down.
Yep.
We see so many young Giants fans, boys and girls. And just speaking from experience, I mean, my own 2 young daughters, every time they see Amy G or Rennell or one of the sports columnists, the writers that you were mentioning, I mean, they want to ask, they want to know, because they're into sports themselves. Nuno put down a very nice sacrifice bunt his first time up, with 2 down and the bases empty here. Takes a strike. Taken in the game. 2. Strike 3 swinging. So Bumgardner picks up his 5th strikeout. He's retired 7 in a row, but the Giants trail 1-0.
Is brought to you by Big O Tires. Tires, service, straight talk. Big O Tires, the team you trust.
Beautiful shot of the Bay Bridge. The Giants here at home on this side of the Bay, trailing the Diamondbacks 1-0. Final game before the All-Star break. Last game of this 3-game series and the deciding game of the series. And Vidal Nuno shutting the Giants down. Crawford, a swing and a miss for strike 1.
Giants have not had much success this year facing guys they don't know much about.
Well, they have never faced Nuno before until today. There's a ball to Crawford. Bumgardner on deck, and then back to the top of the order. Two and one.
Just a little bit inside, not by much.
That's a pop-up, but well back out of play.
Breaking ball had some hang time out there. About mid-thigh, almost to the belt, out over the plate. I mean, that's where you want a breaking ball.
I was really surprised Bumgardner was on deck, so you were curious about how aggressively they'd pitch Crawford his first time up. He strikes out swinging there against the fastball, and with that runner in scoring position, I think it was the 2-2 pitch, he got a fastball right down the middle basically. He had a good swing and fouled it off, but Diamondbacks came right after him.
Well, you're down 1-0 in the game. It's the 5th inning, and you're a hitter like Madison Bumgardner. You know what he's thinking. He wants to hit his 3rd home run, tie this bad boy up.
He might do it.
Well,
fastball, strike 1.
Might be the last fastball he sees.
Yeah. It is funny how he gets pitched like a cleanup hitter these days. He rips that one down the left field line, and it is a fair ball. It's going to hop into the corner. Bumgardner will dig for second and make it there. So he gets pitched like a cleanup hitter for good reason.
Well, a little life gets crowd in this game. It's a little cut fastball right out there about belt high out over the middle. It doesn't matter whether or not it's going to stay fair or foul. And it was fair by about, well, it hit the line.
Yeah. So he had at least an inch or two to spare. But no dispute, that is a reviewable play, but there's no question that one was fair. And now a good chance here with Pence at the plate. Tying run at second. Pence fouls one back. That was a pitch up. Not a fastball. But must have looked pretty enticing. Inside, ball one. One thing to keep in mind, it's no guarantee that second base is scoring position when it's Bumgardner.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have any really great arms out in the outfield, but they're all pretty good. They're all pretty accurate. And with Bumgardner's speed or lack of at second base, you're not going to see Tim Flannery challenge.
Pence hits a pop-up. Foul ground, third base side. Not an easy play with the sun, with the wind, and nobody can get to it. Ahmed, the shortstop, raced over.
Earlier in the game, we saw a great play from Hunter Pence with Ender Inciarte at first base. He's pretty fast. And Inciarte was going to stop at second. He saw this bobble and took off for third. A one hopper right to Sandoval, who puts on a great tag. And this was a huge play in the game because they get the out at third. It would have been a runner at first and second or first and third with Goldschmidt coming up and nobody out in the first inning. And as it turned out, he would pitch through it. They wouldn't score. But that was a big, big play.
Huge.
An all-star effort.
And it was a nice little break in that Inciarte. I think he was going to stop at second if not for that bobble. Pence takes the ball inside. 2-2. You were talking about the outfield arms. No Parra today. Blanco's the on-deck hitter. Usually Parra is the guy you identify. You can't run on Gerardo Parra, but it's Cody Ross in right field this afternoon. Pence tops one foul.
Nunez really had a lot of success throwing that hard slider and that curveball down below the strike zone to the Giants right-handed hitters late in the count. And they're fishing. They're getting after it.
Well, Giants need a spark. That one, did that hit him? It did. He started to swing, held up, and the ball hit him. So he'll go to first base. First and second, one away.
Well, you say I'm all right. I did catch him on the third. And it looked like the ring finger knuckle of his right hand. And watch the gloveless hand. And indeed, that caught nothing but hand. That's one you can hear.
Yeah. And you kind of hold your breath. That one, I guess you could call it a glancing blow. But anytime you hit a finger or a hand, you just get a little nervous.
Oh, you really do. After what we saw Brandon Belt go through.
Yeah.
It was 50 games with a broken thumb.
Blanco takes ball one.
This is normal speed. You could just hear the sound. There was no wood in that contact.
Blanco to left field and pretty well hit. Trumbo moving back and he makes a catch. Pretty good play from a guy who's not known for his defense in left field, and Blanco's frustrated.
I think when that ball left the pad, he thought he had a chance. He was going to get over the head of Trumbo. Trumbo will fool you. I mean, he's got good hands. And for a big guy, he doesn't have great range, but what he gets to, he catches. The idea just how good the hands are. Puts it right in the sweet spot. And there's that frustration you're talking about.
Here's Pablo, and he swings and might have foul tipped a piece of it. Strike one. Well, opportunity. Pablo, I mean, it's been a quiet stretch for Pablo, too. This has infected everybody, and he's looking frustrated. 1 for 2.
Your middle of the order guys have to get hot.
Have to. That one just topped barely. Foul. Strike 2.
Think about how many times the Giants have been shut out here in the last couple of weeks, and it's starting to wear on everybody. Your first concern is for the pitchers. Well, as bad as it is for the pitchers, it's worse for the hitters. I always talk about how quiet clubhouses get when teams are getting shut out, and that's what's happened to the Giants clubhouse. Team swagger is what they do with the bat. And when those bats go cold, it gets quiet. Ryan Vogelsong, last 4 starts, has not gotten 1 run of support. 0.
In the dirt. And Vogelsong was very diplomatic about it, as you would expect after the game. He basically said, look, it happens. It's just strange how it's happening to me over and over again.
Well, he's a veteran. He's been through it before. And you have to grind through it. That was what his quote was earlier today. We read it. You have to look at it that way. Just let it go and get ready for your next start. End of story.
Pablo, foul. That one way in, and he tried to keep it fair. Just could not do it.
See the high target, little tomahawk. So from a pitcher's perspective, if the guy's going to swing at that, he's doing you a favor. Most guys. With Sandoval, he can hurt you up there.
On the ground, diving stop by Prado. Can he throw out Pablo? He cannot. The throw pulled Goldschmidt off the bag, and the bases are loaded.
That's probably going to be a hit, although it's going to be a coin toss for the official score. Guys just have not been getting a lot of these of late, and this is called a break. Beautiful spear job by Prado to get to it, but he throws up the line, and Goldschmidt cannot stay in contact with the bag. So the Giants get what they want, and that is Buster Posey up with the bases loaded. And he has had 2 great at-bats already today against Nuno.
Well, Mike Harkey, pitching coach, going to come out for a chat. And we don't need to play amateur shrink too much, but I do think this is the kind of spot where you can't carry that baggage of the struggle. You got to go up there. This is Buster Posey's spot. He loves these kind of spots.
Yeah, you have to be aggressive with the first pitch. Strike one is very important, and I don't think you're going to see him try to take strike one with a fastball, or he may use that flop curveball to try and steal one. If he throws a fastball, it'll have cut on it, and it'll be inside. I think those are his 2 big weapons here in this type of situation. But Posey's seen him well. As we mentioned before, he scalded one in his first at bat to left field. It was caught. Hit a ball right on the screws in his next at bat to the second baseman Hill, and he picked it clean. 0 for 2, but he's had 2 good contact at bats.
So now here we go. Bases loaded, and a breaking ball taken for ball 1. That is hard to believe. With the bases loaded, Buster 0 for 8.
Well, it makes him due.
He is definitely due. Overdue. Chance to do big damage here. And Posey launches one. Deep left field. It is gone. What a big moment and a big swing for Posey and the Giants. 4-1 on the grand slam by Buster.
And there wasn't one person in this ballpark that wasn't thinking that that's what was going to happen.
He was overdue. Well, the big guy's got to do it. And Buster Posey is definitely one of the Giants' big guys. Michael Morse, swing and a miss. Second career grand slam for Buster. A hit that the Giants just desperately needed.
They really did. Down and middle in, and he golfs it right out of here. And he makes it look very easy. Home run number 10, RBIs 43, 44, 45, and 46. And that felt good for Buster Posey. The long drought with the bases loaded is over.
Yeah, and you mentioned it. Look, the first two at-bats, he was 0 for 2, but the at-bats were good. He had the best swings the Giants have had in this game. So now, and it's not just a hit, it's a grand slam, so a little breathing room.
Well, and it was Madison Bumgardner who got it started with a one-out double.
He did. Morse on 2-2 down the right field line. Well hit, but foul. Home run distance and not that far foul. That might make those 4 days off feel a little better for Buster. I mean, you can think about that swing for a lot of those hours.
Yes, you can. It's the type of a positive vibe that you can sit on and take with you right into the second half. Thinking more is coming.
Inside, full count. Morse goes down swinging, but Buster Posey lit up this crowd with his second career grand slam. The hit the Giants have been looking for. It looks pretty no matter how you look at it. 4-1, Giants take the lead.
Sportsnet Bay Area is brought to you by Sonoma Raceway. The NHRA Sonoma Nationals return to Sonoma Raceway July 25th through 27th. Feel the horsepower.
Well, very different feeling as the sixth inning gets underway. The Giants have broken through for the first time in 2 days, and the Buster Posey grand slam has made it 4-1 Giants with the top of the order up for Arizona. And I think a very important inning for Bumgardner on the mound. Inciarte takes strike one.
Well, it's the first time in 2 days the Giants have had a lead, so the emphasis on the shutdown inning is magnified a little more than it normally is.
Inciarte to center field, and that's going to be a base hit, so he's 2 for 3.
And that's a significant at bat because he's the leadoff hitter and he just got on base.
How about once again, let's check in with Amy G.
All right, thanks, Dave. It's time for our fan photo contest. So get your Twitter account ready and your photos. Hashtag it to us at CSNBA fan photo. Make sure to include your name and hometown and get a chance to be on a future broadcast. Today's photo comes in from Amber Townsend. She's from Colusa, California. Her little baby boy, Bryson, can't wait for his first Giants game today. Mike Krukow, he looks like a gamer baby, I think.
You know what? Amber the gamer, I think that's a pretty good point. He definitely looks ready.
He's got lots and lots of Giants baseball ahead of him. We know that. Prado takes a strike. Well, you mentioned it. That leadoff hit sets the table here. You got Prado, Goldschmidt, Trumbo after the Giants go ahead. Prado has had 2 real good at bats, 2 for 2. Has knocked in the only run, and he flips one to shallow right field. Pence playing shallow, but not shallow enough. And right away, 2 hits for Arizona to start the 6th.
That's kind of how things started in the first inning. Big breaking ball, kind of a hanger above the belt. Second time today that Prado has gone to right field to beat Bumgardner. 3 hits on the day for Prado.
Yeah. Well, there's talk that these might be his last couple weeks with Arizona. He's had a nice series. And now Goldschmidt, who can change the game with one swing. Strike one, that cutter on the outside. You got to be very, very careful with this guy. Bumgardner's pitched him well in this game. Strike 2.
Right at the knees, and that had some steam on it. 89-mile-an-hour cut. Goldschmidt, not an easy guy to double up either because he is quick out of the box. For a big guy, he runs well.
See if Bumgardner goes back to that curve. He struck him out with it in the first. Throws a fastball just outside.
Now that's a perfect 0-2 pitch. We always talk about the fastball off the plate away 3 to 8 inches called paralysis fastball. You can see the target, and that hits right between the legs of Posey. I mean, he didn't have to move that glove much. Some umpires will go with it, but at the very least, you really make everybody think. Umpire, hitter. Now you can come back to the same location. You can throw 2-seam movement running away from right-handed hitter. You could cut his back foot with a slider. You could flop a curveball up there and try and bounce it home plate. You go above the hands of the cut. Lots of options. And they're all set up because of that last pitch.
1-2. Goldschmidt on the ground, foul. He went with the cutter. He uses that pitch to get a lot of his ground balls. It's a spot where if you can get a ground ball, have a chance to turn the double play. Although the point you make is a good one. Goldschmidt, as much as any of the big sluggers in the league right now, he moves well. So big spot in this game. Giants have gone ahead 4-1, but right away the Diamondbacks 2 on, nobody out, and their best hitter at the plate.
Now, you made a good point about the very first time that he struck him out in this game. The payout pitch was a curveball in the dirt, and Goldschmidt could not hold up. And they have not thrown him a curveball in this sequence.
Another, and they've got Inciarte in between second and third. Sandoval running in there. He'll tag Inciarte, and he almost gets Prado, and now he does. And Prado's going to go nuts because Sandoval tagged him and knocked him off the base. That's the most improbable double play you'd ever see. And here comes Kirk Gibson. Diamondbacks are not going to be happy about that one.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to. I don't think it's going to stand. I think the point you made about Sandoval knocking Prado off the bag is a good one. And because of that, Lance Barksdale making the call. But again, the little spin move now, that's a play that's called from the bench. They run Inciarte back, and right here is where you see Sandoval coming to the bag, and he pops Prado pretty good. Umpires are going to talk this one over.
Well, it's incredible in that spot with their best hitter at the plate that Inciarte would allow himself to get fooled by that play. Terrible mistake, but now we'll see if it's really compounded. They are talking about it, and they're not going to call him out. They're going to override that call.
No, that's the right call.
Yeah.
But, I mean, how many times have we seen that spin move work?
A lot.
Bruce Bochy going to come out at least hear what the explanation was from the umpires.
And Pablo wants to know too. Kerwin Danley talking to him.
Well, I don't even know what Inciarte's thinking about. You're in scoring position at second base when you've got Goldschmidt up there to play. You cannot make the first out or the third out at third base. I mean, in essence, that's what he did. But it's especially worse because Goldschmidt's in the batter's box.
Yeah. I mean, that cannot happen. So Bochy's not happy that they changed the call. The crew chief, Dale Scott, the guy doing most of the talking. So it's not a double play. They do get that first out. Prado moved to second. Still 1-2 to Goldschmidt. I mean, Inciarte, he's going on first motion. He's just desperate to steal his way to third.
That's just a young player's mistake. I don't think they're going to wait till after the game to tell them about how they feel about it. They being the coaching staff for the Diamondbacks. It's not a smart play.
So we'll see if that helps Bumgardner get out of the jam. Now he's going to try to pick off Prado, and he almost threw it into center field. Good play by Adrianza.
You don't want to give up that 90 feet. I mean, keep that runner at second base there with one out. You can hide him. You throw this ball in center field, he goes to third. Now it's a whole different deal.
So 1-2. We were still asking when's that curveball coming. There it is, and Goldschmidt hits it to right. Well hit. Pence reaches out and makes the catch. And after the collision with the wall, throws back in a little bit late. Cut off, 2 down. What a play.
That is a brilliant play, and he snow-coned it right there at the end of the play. I don't know how much of the glove he used to catch this ball, but he knew he was going to make contact and hard contact with the wall. And watch the concentration and the extension, and that's a good glove right there. And look at the reaction from Bumgardner. That's an RBI, and Goldschmidt is at second base at the very least.
Big time. And you said it well. That's athletic ability. That's also courage, because you know that wall is there. 2 down for Trumbo. The inside, ball 1. Oh, I bet Bumgarner's got a little adrenaline flowing after that play.
Well, that type of play will do it for you. And the Giants, in the last couple of days, they've really been turning some incredibly good defensive plays. And Pence, you can just throw that on the list. He's had 2 good ones today. The assist he had in the first, and now this one.
They have. The defense has really been good. Trumbo, foul ball, strike 1. That one got a piece of Posey on the mask.
Watch the left hand somehow managed to hang on, because that ball caught the fingertips. And a lot of old gloves will just roll right over, and that thing flops out.
Pence found a few extra inches of reach. I don't even know if he knew he had them.
Fearless taking on that wall.
So 2 down. What a sequence. Trumbo takes a ball. Changeup. We haven't seen many of those.
One more look as he extends in. And they almost doubled up Prado on the backside. He was past third base. I mean, he was already, he figured I'm scoring. That ball's over his head.
courage and then the presence of mind to wheel around and throw it back in. Strike two with the curve.
Big roundhouse curveball.
Well, just think about this inning. Leadoff hitter, base hit. Prado, base hit. First and second, nobody out. Goldschmidt up there. Inciarte picked off basically between second and third. Almost a double play, and then that catch. That's pretty remarkable. Now we'll see if Bumgardner could just shut the door. 2-2. Here it comes. Ball three outside.
Well, he does not want to face Hill as the tying runner in this inning. As you mentioned earlier, I mean, he's got 5 extra base hits. Hill does on deck against Bumgardner. So this ought to be a pretty good pitch to hit right here. He's got to get after it.
Yeah. Time at home plate.
This is not one of those situations where you say, I've got an open base. He does not want to face the tying run with Aaron Hill.
3-2. Trumbo on the ground. Diving stop by Sandoval. He throws him out. And another fist pump from Bumgardner. What an inning. Pence with the great play. Bumgardner loved it, and the Diamondbacks do not score.
Insurance brokers offering business and personal insurance, employee benefits, and financial services. Visit us at hefins.com and by Xfinity, home of the most live sports.
Beautiful Sunday in San Francisco. Bottom of the 6th, 4-1. The Giants have the lead over Arizona thanks to Bumgardner, Posey, and a few others. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change tune-up and smog experts. Hard-throwing right-hander Matt Stites in the game. Here, Mike, first time we've seen him this weekend.
Yeah, former 17th round pick by the Padres, came over to the D-backs in that Ian Kennedy trade. That sent Kennedy to the Padres. Take a look at what he has done in 11 games, and as you mentioned, he is a hard thrower. You're going to see mid to high 90s and a hard slider, basically a two-pitch guy, but he gets pretty good tilt. And really, for a guy 5'11", 195, that's not an easy thing to do, but he's got a very high release, high three-quarter. But he will put some giddy up on it. Rookie.
They like him. So right out of the gate, 95 miles an hour, ball one.
Just to introduce himself to Joaquin Arias.
Hello, Joaquin.
I got more where that came from. That
one is looped into left center field, and it's a base hit, and it kicks away from Inciarte. Now Trumbo watches it roll, and Joaquin Arias will end up at second.
Interesting to see how they rule this as to whether or not it's a double or a single in an error. Let's take a look at the play that ended it for the Diamondbacks in the top of the 6th. We saw great defense all inning long, and here is another play of defensive brilliance. Sandoval to his left, squares up all the time in the world. And Madison Bumgardner once again likes the defense, and he walks out of here with a shutdown inning the hard way.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? That one could have been a run, 2 more. So your question's answered. Single error against Inciarte. Kind of been a rough 5 minutes for the center fielder.
A bad base running play that took his team out of an inning, and he makes an error. That's rough.
Adrianza, strike 1 swinging. Runner at second, nobody out. Let's see if the Giants can add on, take advantage of this opportunity. Giants would love to see Adrianza pull a ball. Strike 2 swinging.
Adrianza right on top of the plate.
He really is.
And you can see the target that Ghostwish, the catcher of the Diamondbacks, has given Stites. It's right on that inside corner.
No, maybe he can at least get the barrel of the bat around. Even if he gets jammed, pull the ball to the right side. We'll see. That target again going to be in. And now late time granted.
Now, if you're a pitcher out there and you're going to hold a hitter or a runner, and you're going to take a lot of time, you can't be mad at that. And no pitcher likes a start-stop. It's uncomfortable. It jars you. But it's his fault.
Part of the deal if you're going to use that tactic. Oh, 2. Adrianza just a little tiny pop-up, and the shortstop makes a nice sliding play, but then he dropped it, and it's no catch. He had it, and as he sort of spun around, the ball popped out. Wow. And that's a tough ruling, I think, for the official scorer. Only because it was such a nice effort to get there, and then he couldn't squeeze it.
They say, did he hold it long enough? Well, no, he didn't.
No.
A little rattle here, and you're thinking, I got this one. Now the elbow hits the ground, and it continues to rattle around. He doesn't take it out of the glove with his bare hand, and that is a drop. And no argument from Kirk Gibson.
Now they're going to charge him with an error.
That's a rough error.
That is. So 2 on, nobody out. 8th place hitter Brandon Crawford at the plate. A little good fortune here for the Giants in this sequence. There's a called strike to Brandon. Good. Yeah, Bumgardner. Oh my goodness.
You think he's a Bumgardner fan?
I think he is.
There's Mr. Snot Rocket. We've been looking for him.
You can't get more Bumgardner geared up than that. The pins, the camo hat, and the Snot Rocket jersey.
That's the name of his dog. Are you kidding? Here's Snot Rocket.
That's not a bad name for a dog.
If you're a single guy.
Well, you could shorten it up to Rocket.
Yeah, there you go.
You needed to be a little more polite in mixed company.
You get a girlfriend or get married, you're going to have to shorten that one up.
If you shorten it up to Snot, I don't think that'd do you much good.
No, I think you're right.
1-1. 2-1. Fastball, 96 miles an hour. So you can see why they like this young pitcher.
And that's the other thing, too, about hard pitchers, young pitchers, and he's 24 years old. When they get into a jam, they start to see the defensive breakdown, they get into strikeout mode fast. They try to take care of business themselves.
Ball 3. Well, we could be looking at another bases loaded situation. You think that Bumgardner fan would be on the edge of his seat? If so,
he's going to see some fastballs from Stites. I mean, that's a given.
(3-1). Crawford A little late on that fastball, foul ball. And you can understand late on 97. Full count, 3-2. You got good speed out on the bases. Stites will step off. It's not the kind of spot where you usually see the runners take off. Three-two. Crawford had a good cut there, fouled it back. Bumgardner waiting on deck. Still nobody out. Three-two. Crawford just got a piece of it.
And that pretty good slider right there. And that was not a hanger either. That was down and in. Crawford did very well to fight that off.
Three-two. Fastball outside, ball four. And for the second straight inning, the bases are loaded for the Giants. This time with nobody out, and this time for Bumgardner.
Yeah, that's a nice at bat. That is not a situation as a pitcher where you think you have an open base with less than 2 outs. You don't want to give up that third base, and that's even with the pitcher coming up. So Bumgardner's going to get up there and he's going to look for one thing. He's going to look for a fastball, and he's going to try and hit one out to Mr. Snot Rocket.
You know what? I think you're right. He's going to get a fastball. There should not be a lot of nuance to this situation. Well, could he do it again? He has already had a grand slam this year. He's got 2 home runs, 8 batted in. He's got a double in this game. See if he tries to attack that first pitch. On the way, and Bumgardner does, and sends one to deep left field. It's gone. My goodness. His second one of the year. He's going to the All-Star game. Put him in the lineup.
At least put him in the home run derby.
Now that's amazing. Buster Posey's got 2 career grand slams. Madison Bumgardner's got 2 career grand slams.
Wow. Well, at this pace, he's going to catch Woody McCovey.
He's gunning for Mac. Eight to 1 Giants. And you could almost just see it coming. He was going to get the fastball. He was going to go after the first one. And he was not going to miss it.
And he top spinned it out of here. Just give an idea how strong he is.
I mean, that was the only question. I didn't know if he hit it high enough. I thought it might have ricocheted off the cars.
Right over to Woody out there in left field. Floodgates have opened up.
The Giants have hit 2 grand slams in this game. They've hit 2 grand slams in the last 2 innings. And he's going to be talking about that one for a while. And there comes one. The grand slam.
The Snot Rocket just for us.
And the Snot Rocket. Only Bum. Strike 2, the slider to Pence. Well, what a difference a couple innings have made in the way this game feels. Giants were gripping, grinding, and not scoring. And now they've got 8 on the board. Still nobody out. Pence chased the slider. Goes Wish, will throw him out. Let's look at it again.
All right, first pitch challenge fastball. They set the target away. It goes middle in, and folks, that is like T-ball for Mr. Bumgardner. And let's take a look from the splash cam. It always looks a little more majestic. And the greeting at home.
And he's got to pick up his own bat.
He almost knocked the umpire over doing it.
Believe it, Madison. You did it. 2 in 1 year for a pitcher.
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, that definitely would send the historians looking to see when the last time that happened for a pitcher.
Yeah, who was the Braves guy who did 2 in 1 game? The Braves pitcher. I have to think about that for a minute. It's right on the tip of my tongue. So it's happened before, but not very often. Two and 0. Blanco hits one foul. I think it was Tony Cloninger who hit 2 grand slams in 1 game as a Braves pitcher.
And had 9 RBIs on the year.
But that's, I mean, I'm not looking it up. That's just, I'm just guessing on air, which is never a great idea.
No, it's not. We're teasing.
But I think Tony Cloninger did do that. But yeah, the historians are going to be scrambling for notes about the day and the year at the plate for Bumgardner. Blanco foul tipped one to stay alive. And Cloninger, he did that against the Giants, didn't he?
Against the Giants in 1966, they're telling us in the truck. So that's confirmed, baby.
Only the 3rd time apparently in San Francisco Giants history that the Giants, forget about the pitcher being involved, have hit 2 grand slams in the same game. Posey and Bumgardner, the battery getting it done today.
Well, he's still got his game face on.
Yeah, well, there's still outs to get, still a ways to go in this game. Sandoval waiting on deck. Ball 3 outside with a 98-mile-an-hour fastball. Last time the Giants hit 2 grand slams in the same game was 1998 against the Dodgers. So that's been a while. Foul ball off the bat of Blanco.
Pretty good 3-2 pitch right there. Although they set the target on the inside corner, it turned out to be a pretty good pitch on the outside corner at the knees at 96. Movement running away from Blanco.
Ball 4. Blanco takes the slider. So he draws the walk, and Sandoval comes up. Another look.
He just can't throw a fastball by him. Curveballs, a little different, but fastballs, he is going to square you up. And Mr. Snot Rocket, very happy.
Wearing that jersey proudly. Well, Hudson's talking to Bumgardner about the top spin on that ball. Couple of all-stars. 8-1 Giants. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service. Your oil change, tune-up, and smog experts. A new pitcher. It's Marshall out of the bullpen. Evan Marshall for the 25th time.
He's got good stuff. He needs a power sinker, which is what they're looking for right here. But you're going to see mid-90s with a powerful sink, a hard slider, and a changeup. 25th time that he's come in. Done a nice job for Kirk Gibson. 29 base runners in 22 innings. And wearing right-handers out. Lefties, different deal, but righties he's had good numbers against. More strikeouts than innings pitched, and that from a guy that can get you a ground ball.
So it was still only one out, and Sandoval up, and 4 runs in. Ball 1 from Marshall on the fastball. Pablo, a couple of hits. Had an infield hit to set up the first Giants grand slam. Yeah, you heard that right. They've hit 2 today. First Giants grand slam of the day. Which, you know, the Bumgardner one is sort of icing on the cake and real fun. The Posey one was a huge moment for this team.
Oh, boy, was it ever. It was a 1-0 ball game at the time. And Vidal Nuno was 1 strike away from getting out of this inning. And pitching a shutout.
Pablo, ground ball base hit through the right side. Blanco will turn on the Jets, and he'll easily make it into third. Well, Posey comes up, and let's remember, just an inning ago, with the Giants still being blanked by Nuno, that changed in a hurry.
Little cut fastball down and in, and Posey just golfs it right out of here. And everybody knew it. A tall, majestic fly ball that landed halfway up the bleachers in left field. That's a big one. And that is the hit that they've been looking for.
Well, Posey had 3 good at bats, just finally got rewarded for it with the grand slam. Now first and third, 1 out, and Buster chases the slider, strike 1. Slider, he took this one. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. Eight to 1 Giants, and looking for more. Looking to score a run without a grand slam. Posey caught it short, man.
He has nothing but bolts coming off that bat today, and he's got a 1 for 4.
I guess you could smile a little bit about it when that one was the grand slam, but still, that's been the story of the week for Buster. He has had a lot of those against the A's. He was hitting line drives. Coco Crisp was running everywhere, catching them.
I think he's set to have a good second half. I really am. I really am thinking that he's going to go off and go into one of those sustained long periods of a hot spell. And the Giants need it. I mean, they need the middle of that lineup to get hot. They have not had more than one guy get hot in over 5 weeks.
Yeah. For a while, Posey was the guy. He had a good long hot stretch, and nobody else was hot around him. Now he's had the quiet week. Morse. It's been a while for Michael Morse.
Hey, there's 3 generations of gamer babes right there. Let's go. Daughter, mom, grandma.
One seems to be hiding. One generation. There we go.
Yeah, don't be.
There we go.
Covering grandma up for crying out loud.
Now time at home plate.
Well, they got their smiles on. Got their orange and black adorned. Spent some time on those signs, too.
They did. That's not just grab a piece of poster and a magic marker and scribble something on there. 2-1 to Michael Morse. And lots to smile about today for Giants fans who've sort of been waiting for a release. Strike 2 swinging.
Good changeup. That's a good one. And that really is the key for Evan Marshall. I mean, as hard as he throws, if he gets to where he can throw that changeup and fastball counts, look out. You're talking about a guy that can close.
Two. Just missing.
And that was not an easy pitch to take either.
Inside, ball 4.
Well,
could it possibly be? Now we're talking about a guy who has not hit a home run in a while.
Well, seen two. I know one thing. There's 41,288 people here thinking that he's going to do it.
Come on, let's see some history. This would be 2 in 1 inning. Bases loaded again. Joaquin Arias. It would be unlikely. And that one's not going over the wall. Inciarte makes the catch, and the inning is over. There was a lot going on there. Kipe's coming back over to join Mike here on the TV side. Madison Bumgardner, what a day. 8-1. The Grand Slam hitting Giants have the lead.
Dieter for the Diamondbacks. 1 run on 6 hits, 2 errors. The Giants 8 runs on 9 hits, no errors, 2 grand slams. 1 off the bat of Madison Bumgardner, 1 off the bat of Buster Posey. Madison Bumgardner has been fantastic through 6 innings. He has been strong. That is our Toyota game summary, brought to you by your local Toyota dealer. 8-1 Giants, top the 7th. Here again, Dwayne Kuiper.
All right, as Hill takes a strike. Hill is 0 for 2. And he fouls it out of play. 1 and 2. Pitch count wise for Bumgardner, he's had a good number. That last pitch was number 82. See, Morris now goes to first, and Colvin is in left.
Giants load the bases 3 times today.
in the 6th inning. They did it twice. We talked about creating more opportunities. We were really kind of asking to spread it around a little bit.
You know what? I think Bruce Bochy needed this.
And a base hit to left field for Hill.
Well, Friday, July 25th is the final Orange Friday Happy Hour presented by the Lagunitas Brewing Company. It's 80s night themed. Come out to hear San Francisco's original 80s tribute band, Tainted Love, as they will be performing live in Seals Plaza pregame from 5 to 7. Your special event package will include a Giants Magic Gamer Ball, a complimentary beverage, and a game ticket to see the Giants take on the Dodgers. Go to sfgiants.com/special events and check it out.
So here's Cody Ross, and he takes a strike. I don't know, maybe you and Dave talked about it, but when Cody Ross came up on Friday, came up as a pinch hitter, he got really one of the nicest and warmest receptions that you're ever going to see a visiting player get. And it really, I don't know, it made me feel good because people don't forget.
They don't forget here. That's why it's great to play here. And if you're on a championship team, you're like a family member.
Here he takes wide, 1-2. He really received a nice ovation today when he came up for the first time. Wears his pants a little different than he did in 2010. And he really was a different player in 2010. He suffered a really severe hip injury, and he's still trying to come back. But he did get a nice contract with the Diamondbacks. This is year 2 of that 3-year deal he signed. And his reward for being just a good player.
Well, and I know he's not 100%. I don't know what he's giving him right now, but I mean, he's going to get better. I mean, the type of injury that he had, very serious. It's going to take him a while to get back from it. And that's the beauty of having a 3-year deal. I mean, you will have a chance to get yourself healthy and come back and try and justify the contract, which is what you want to do when you sign a contract like that. But you have to have health to do it.
Yep. Stays at 1-2.
But he was fun to be around. He was a guy that really enjoyed everything that happened. I mean, he was very quick with a smile and very quick with a comment about the euphoric atmosphere that surrounded the 2010 team. Giants winning a World Series championship for the first time.
Remember when the Giants picked up Cody Ross, there wasn't an opening in the outfield. But as September rolled around, as he fouls this one off of Buster Posey, and then obviously postseason, my goodness, he was going to play. He single-handedly beat the Phillies, for crying out loud. Outside, 3-2. When the Giants won that game 5 in Arlington, the 3 outfielders that ran off the field were Aaron Rowan, Andres Torres, and Cody Ross. How about that group? 3-2 pitch. Ball back again. These were the home runs that Cody Ross hit off of Matt Holliday. This was game 1. And this one off of Doc Holliday. And he was like the massive Holliday killer.
Well, and he enjoyed it. And he was kind of surprised by it, but just went right with it.
He hammers one high and deep to left, and he's got one against his former teammate And it's 8-3. And for Cody Ross, his second of the year. And that's it. I'm going to stop talking about him.
There is activity in the Giants bullpen. Juan Gutierrez up and throwing. That last pitch for Bumgardner at 93. So Dave Righetti going to come out and talk about it. I mean, you got a 7-run lead. You're going to challenge. And Cody Ross gets a fastball middle in. And he dropped his famous bat flip. There's Gutierrez.
So the hitter is going to be Gozwich, Tuffy Gozwich. Gozwich is struck out and he's bounced out. And a strike on the outside corner. He's a Beatty fan.
Well, I don't think it's going to be that long before we see Tyler Beatty, the first-round pick for the Giants this year in the free agent draft a month ago.
Well, he was here on this homestand with his family. One and one to Gozwich. 1-2 to Gozwich.
Shoot that ball right by him.
And this is bounced to Crawford, who gets a nice hop. And that's out number one. So pretty good example. You charge that ball, you might charge yourself into a nice big hop, and that's what Crawford did. Has Dave been gloating at all about the World Cup?
Oh, unbelievable. Giants had a pool for the World Cup, and Dave Fleming and John Miller both shared a pick. They shared Germany, and Germany won the World Cup. And Dave got word that it was a final indeed. Germany was a winner, and he was very happy. But I think he was a little bit happier with the 2 Grand Slams, to be honest with you.
I do too. Swinging a bouncer into the hole, and it caroms off of Sandoval's glove. Because Crawford may have had a shot. Now, whether he'd have been able to throw out on it or not, I don't know. But it will be an infield hit.
Well, you try and get everything you can to your left, just off the tip of his glove. Rare that when Sandoval can get to it and touch it, he usually catches it. That would have been a spectacular play. Still, Panda very frustrated.
Here's Nick Evans. Evans, an infielder, hitting here with 1 out. And the pitch is in tight. Evans is 2 for 17. 1 for 7 as a pinch hitter. And the first 2 pitches are out of the strike zone. It's 2-0.
Evans the only right-hander available on the pitch today for Kirk Gibson. Got a lot of lefties out there now. He really stacked the lineup of the righties against Bumgardner.
And a drive to left, and nobody's going to catch this one. We'll see what Ahmed does, and they're going to wave him in, and it's going to be 8-4. So all of a sudden, the Diamondbacks are making this interesting. And the hitter is going to be Ender Inciarte.
And Bruce Bochy just told Buster Posey, go out and talk to him. And they're just trying to get Javier Lopez ready.
So Bumgardner hit a wall here in the 7th.
Well, that's what happens when you hit grand slams. You kind of lose your concentration.
So the fans all standing for Bumgardner. It's 8-4 Giants. We'll be back. As in, when it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change tune-up and smog experts.
Javier Lopez, a new pitcher now for Bruce Bochy. 36th time he has come in this first half of the season. 1-1 with a 2.89 ERA. Could he get one out?
That's the art they offered at that. Trying to bunt. It's no balls and 1 strike. He's got 2 hits today off of Bumgardner. And that pitch is wide to even the count.
How about that? First time a starting catcher and a starting pitcher hit grand slams in the same game. That's Major League Baseball history.
Wow. Swing and a miss, 1 and 2.
And we got to see it.
We did. And we know those guys. Got him. It's the Javi Lopez we know. And that's it for him.
So there's the 1 out. And he indeed did get it the Javi Lopez way, by way of the strikeout.
So Lopez is going to depart. We're going to get a new pitcher. It'll be a right-hander. And it's 8-4 Giants.
about a little history. First time in Major League history that a starting pitcher and a starting catcher in the game have hit grand slams in the same game. First it was Buster Posey with a slam in the 5th, a 2-out swing in the bat. Then it was Madison Bumgardner coming up with the bases loaded on a first pitch fastball, and he left earth and he made a little history, and that's our AT&T U-verse rewind. New pitcher now for the Giants will be Juan Gutierrez. Let's take a look at what his report card reflects in the first half of the season. 39th time that he's come in, 1-2 with a 3.15 ERA, 40 base runners allowed. Very good. Almost a 5-to-1 strikeout walk ratio. Very good. He's had a good first half.
Prado's got 3 hits, so he's the hot Diamondback right now. And both these guys from the same country, so it's likely they've faced each other before, probably played on the same team a number of different times. From Venezuela. No balls and 1 strike. Evans at second. 0-2. Top of the 7th inning. The Diamondbacks have scored 3 times. High, 1-2.
Yeah, tried to elevate the fastball. Just a little bit of an overthrow right there. Ideally, they want that to go above the hands. It doesn't have to go above the shoulders. Just go above the hands on the inside corner. You go mid-90s there. That's a tough one to hit.
Out of play.
Yeah, he's tardy on that 94. Saw Oliver Perez, the left-hander in the bullpen for the Diamondbacks.
One and two. Got him, and that'll end the inning. That's some paint. 8-4 Giants. Giants. And let's check out our solar company electrifying play of the first half, June 25th, 2014. That's right, Tim Lincecum was on the hill. On the ground to Panic. Panic to Posey, and Lincecum has done it again. He has no hit the San Diego Padres for the second time in 2 years. What a great performance by that kid. He walked Chase Headley in the second inning, then retired the last 23. Joined Christy Mathewson as the only Giants pitchers with 2 home run hitters. How about that?
Yep, pretty impressive.
And it's time for a change. Think Speedy oil change and tune up. Your oil change tune up and Smog experts.
Oliver Perez, one of the 2 lefties that the Diamondbacks have in their bullpen, going to come in now. 39th time he's come in. And look what he's done to right-handed hitters. 171. And when you face him, you're going to see a low to mid-90s fastball, good hard curveball. Basically a 2-pitch guy, but they're good pitches. He is a guy who was always thought strikeout. Originally a starter. First saw him come up with the Mets, and he has found himself a nice home with the bullpen.
Adrianza is going to lead things off here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Adrianza is 1 for 3. He almost came up with one of the greatest hits of all time.
Well, I tell you what, there was a little jam shot pop up that just kind of got over the head of Stites, the pitcher. Now the shortstop, Ahmed, almost made a nice play, couldn't hang on to it.
Yeah, he got dinged with an error on the play.
There for a minute he thought about, he being the official scorer, about a hit.
Yeah, I thought they might give him a hit.
And it would have been one of the great hits of all times.
And 3 pitches, and see you later for ARI Adrianza, and here's Crawford.
Now 3 good breaking balls. Good afternoon, good afternoon, and good afternoon. You don't say good morning, good afternoon, good night with breaking balls. Not on an afternoon. Throw 3 in a row. You just can't say it.
So here's Crawford. Crawford hits a high foul down the left field line and out of play. When you hit the last game of the first half, you can watch that last game, and at the end of the game, you can pretty much tell the guys that need the 3 days. Well, this guy needs the 3 days.
Yes, he does.
And whatever he does, it's going to help him come Thursday morning when everybody gets on the plane. I asked Bruce Bochy on his KMBR radio show, I said, what would you like your guys to do, you know, for these 3 or 4 days off? And he said, well, for the guys that didn't make the All-Star team, I said, I really want them just to relax, get away from it, just get away from it, and then be ready to get on that plane. I asked him what he was going to do, and he said he was going to relax, and they were headed to Florida.
And he and his wife Kim both have relatives in Florida, so they're just going to get a head start on the second half of the season, where the Giants open up next Friday in Miami. So he's going to fish a little bit.
He said, let's say you're in Florida, you're driving by a Little League game, and you have any temptation to stop and maybe help the guy manage? He said, no, it is not going to.
He's going to manage bait, is what he's going to manage.
Crawford takes wide, 3-2.
Perez with a couple of funky windups, and he can do some funky things out there. He's always had kind of a wild hair up his nose. He's not your conventional lefty by any way, shape, or form. And if he gets a couple of strikeouts, the craziness gets bigger.
Yeah, you're right. Three-two pitch. Here it is to Crawford. And Crawford skies it to center field, but Inciarte got a good jump, and he'll put it away. Nice at that. Time to log on to CSNBayarea.com and decide the player of the game. The winner will be revealed during Giants postgame live. You can do a lot of things, including check out the enhanced Bloomberg stats. Giants in-game live on CSNBayarea.com. Log on and vote. Here's Panic. You think that Bruce Bochy thinks this is a big game?
Oh, yeah, I do.
He said before the game, he said I can't tell you how important it is that we win today. Panic takes a strike. He's got Romo up in the bullpen.
Well, game of baseball it requires so much energy, and you have to manufacture it yourself. And the last game of the first half, I mean, that's an energy builder if you win that game, especially for a team that had really a great start. At one point, it was 21 games over 500. If the Giants were to win today, they would finish the first half 9 games over 500. But they'd have energy going into Friday. So there's one big reason why it was big.
Two and two. And a full count. So Perez went full to Crawford. He'll go full here to Panic.
And if the Giants win this ball game in this series, you know, they're going to get 3 days off from the paper. But come Thursday, when the All-Star game is over, start to get cranked up for the second half, teams will start to be critiqued. And if you were to lose this ball game and they have a negative going into the break, you'd have to read about negative things.
Panic out swinging to end the inning. 8th inning coming up.
here at the park. It was Cancer Awareness Day, and Dave Trebecki was here as a cancer survivor. Guys, it's also the 25th anniversary of his miraculous comeback, and he threw out the first pitch, and he did it like he used to do it. He did his old windup, and then he tossed it with his right hand. A very special day with a lot of former teammates of his here, including Will Clark, Kevin Mitchell, Bob Nepper, Scott Garrals, and our own Mike Krukow. Great day, guys.
Well, it was a great day, and it's just great to see a lot of life in that guy.
Right now, it's going to be Sergio Romo who comes into the ball game 39 times. Been throwing a great ball of late.
Crawford. Morris.
So when it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change tune-up and smog experts. And we talk about the type of first half that Romo has had. I mean, it's been kind of a Jekyll and Hyde, but he's really been coming out of it. And he's getting more consistency with his slider, which was the pitch that sort of left him for a while. We're not used to seeing him have any kind of inconsistencies, but it plagued him for a couple of weeks.
Trumbo taking a hack. He's 0 for 3. Hunter Pence made one of the really fine catches we've seen in right field in this ballpark, and he did it off of Trumbo in the 6th. He pulled out the elastic arm on us. Oh, and 1 with Hill on deck. Look out.
Guy right below us made a nice play, commando style, no glove. There he is. And gave it to his son.
Hey.
High five for the old man. He's earned it.
That's my dad.
Let's go, Dad.
Oh, and 2. And he got him.
Take a look at the 3 outs. First of all, with runners at first and second, nobody out. Paul Goldschmidt up. A pickoff of Ender Inciarte. Almost a double play. They ruled that Sandoval moved him off the bag. Then Goldschmidt hits this ball over the head of Hunter Pence, who really comes up with the play of the game. And there's been lots of defensive plays, and this is what finished the inning. A beautiful play from Sandoval, snagging a ground ball and shooting down Trumbo, and that was a shutdown inning.
And a strike to Aaron Hill. Hill singled in the 7th. He came home on Cody Ross's home run.
Just missed. Yeah, it's a good miss. I mean, it's a tempting slider. Go front door with it.
Yep, 1 and 2.
Front door to a right-handed hitter is inside corner. Back door is the outside corner.
Got him. Bottom of the 8th coming up. 8-4 Giants.
6th inning in a 4-1 ball game. Bases loaded, and Madison Bumgardner comes up for the 2nd time this year. He knocks it out of the ballpark, a grand slam. Second one in today's game. First time in Major League history that a starting catcher and a starting pitcher in the same game each hit a grand slam. His effort on the mound, his effort with the bat, he's our Honda player of the game.
When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up, your oil change tune-up and smog experts.
Randall Delgado coming in for the 28th time. 4-pitch pitcher with mid-90s fastball. Big curveball, slider, changeup, good stuff. Just doesn't have great command. 23 walks and 42 1/3. That's about 10 too many.
Facing Hunter Pence, who takes a strike.
But Delgado does not lack for stuff.
And that pitch in the dirt. Blanco on deck, and then Pablo Sandoval. Outside and low. Didi Gregorius is now at second, so Hill is out of the game. Hence into center field. Inciarte. Well, fans, the next time you're looking to pick up great seats to a game, head to StubHub, where you can earn 2% back in fan rewards on every purchase, including Giants tickets. Plus, with all-in pricing, there are no surprise fees at checkout. StubHub, your ticket to upgrades and more. Blanco's been on twice. Tries to bunt his way on, and they just got him. As Dale Scott ran into, or the other way around, Gregorius ran into him. So here's Sandoval.
Now, a pretty good idea, and I thought he had a chance for it. I thought Delgado made a nice play, and an absolute off-balance strike to Goldschmidt right over the left shoulder of Gregor Blanco, and you cannot make a better play. Actually, it was wide of him. It didn't go with the left shoulder, but still a beautiful play.
Sandoval looking for his 4th hit. And it's in tight. And a strike on the outside corner. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Santiago Casilla coming in, and you mentioned how badly Bruce Bochy wanted this ball game. And there's evidence right there. You're bringing in your closer with a 4-run lead.
Well, once the D-backs put 3 on the board in the 7th, that was it. Game on once again for the manager. Here's the 2-1, and Sandoval takes low 3-1. Health-wise, he's starting to bounce back a little bit. It takes a while.
The crud.
We're speaking of experiences. That's ball 4. Don't forget to check out Sportsnet Central tonight. And do it after Giants postgame live. And do it right here in Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. Buster Posey's hit the ball hard 4 times. And what has he got? He's got a 1-for-4 day, but the one hit was a grand slam.
Now, this is the kind of days that can frustrate you, but when you hit a grand slam, it does make you feel a bit better about the other 3 balls that found gloves. This is the big swing of the bat. Giants trailing 1-0. And the bottom of the 5th inning, he comes up. There are two outs, and he does this. Home run number 10. RBIs 43, 44, 45, and 46.
He drives it out into Triple's alley. Can Inciarte get this one? Well, he doesn't, but Cody Ross does. So that's just the way it's going to be for Buster Posey today. Giants lead 8-4. Some of the action today here at the ballpark with the Giants leading 8-4. Santiago Casilla is now in to pitch.
Take a look at his numbers. 31st time he's come in. It's 4 saves. Has had a very interesting first half. Pitched very well, then got put on the disabled list with a hamstring pull, then worked his way back and got hot again and wound up being the closer. And that's where he is right now. It's not a save situation, but a big 3 outs nonetheless.
Yep, looked like a pretty good pitch. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. There's a strike. 1-2. The Dodger-Padre game is in the 8th inning. It's still 1-0 LA. Dodgers are hitting. The final in the game last night was 1-0. Padres pitching, fabulous. Padres hitting, not so fabulous. Swing and a miss.
Well, nice job of saving that curveball for the payoff pitch, and that's a 2.5 right there.
Stay tuned. We'll have the post-game wrap coming up. And Mike will also talk about the game with Murph and Mac tomorrow morning on KNBR 680. KNBR doesn't get it, do they? It's the All-Star break. We're not supposed to do anything, for crying out loud.
Are you kidding? All-Star break, Christmas, New Year's, it doesn't matter.
Well, the holidays, we don't do the show in the holidays. If you're in baseball, these are 4 holidays coming up.
Yeah, these are Christmas. This is baseball Christmas coming up next 4 days.
In the dirt.
In the next hour, one of the really unbelievable things about baseball is going to occur, and that's 25 guys are going to evaporate and go in 25 different directions. And it is amazing how fast the team can go from a clubhouse and just disappear.
And that's whether you're on a winning team or a losing team. If you're on a team that's got it going, they will eagerly come back on Thursday. And this bunch will. One ball and 2 strikes. Got him.
Fastball right through him. Just rear back, and he will add in 2-strike situations with the fastball. Just a country hard 4-seam fastball right through him. And he really maximizes power when he jumps out there. See the catapult as he cracks the whip. That puts a little style point on it.
So Ahmed waiting on Casilla. And Casilla throwing the ball very well. And it's now 1 ball and 1 strike. 8-4 Giants. Two and 1. Two and 2.
That is just paint. 94-mile-an-hour 2-seam fastball. Could not run it up there and put it in a better spot than that.
Another sellout on their feet. Morris, and that's the ball game. So the Giants take the series, and they do it by winning on Friday behind Lincecum, and they win today behind Madison Bumgardner. And it wasn't just Bumgardner in how he pitched, it was also Bumgardner in how he swung the bat. He hit a grand slam in the 6th, but he also started the rally in the 5th with a double. So all in all, it was a mighty fine afternoon for the kid from North Carolina.
Well, and it was a great afternoon for Bruce Bochy. I mean, he needed this. He wanted to have this first half in on a good note, and they had a good first half. I mean, they finished 9 games above 500. It is not as good as it was, no, but they have momentum now, and they are set to do some damage in the second half.
They'll either be in second place, a game back of the Dodgers, or they'll be tied for first place once the end of the Dodger-Padre game. And yeah, I mean, that we know the struggles that they went through to get to this point, but there was a couple of months where they were the best team in baseball. And so a win today is going to propel them into a really nice All-Star break.
Well, and I think the offense thinks that there's a lot of offense out there. They haven't got hot. They haven't had 2 or 3 guys go off at the same time, and that's what they're waiting for.
All right, Amy G's got a guess. Fire away,
guys. We got Buster Posey. First of all, congratulations on the win. But Today, you and Madison Bumgardner made Major League Baseball history as the first starting catcher and pitcher to hit grand slams in the same game. What can you say about that?
I didn't even think about that. I was actually asking Rags how many pitchers had hit 2 grand slams in the same year, and he said he remembers somebody from the Braves, a pitcher from the Braves, doing it twice in a game. But I'd be interested to know how many have 2 in a year also. Major
League Baseball is probably listening to you right now. They're on it, and we'll get that to you. Take us through the 5th inning. It's been a while since you guys came up with a money hit with runners in scoring position, and when you hit the grand slam, which was more than anybody expected, it just seemed like the whole place let out a breath and relaxed.
Yeah, I think it's a hit we were looking for, just to, like you said, 2 outs. We've been happy getting 1 run in, so to drop in 4 there was great.
Okay, I'm just getting word from our guys in the truck. Bumgardner, second pitcher all time to hit 2 grand slams in 1 season. Yeah. Madison Bumgardner. We joke all the time about him hitting and trying to participate in the home run derby this week, but it's no joke. He can hit. And Buster, what's it like to have a pitcher that can hit in your lineup and use him as a weapon?
Well, I mean, it's almost like running an American League lineup out there, because pitchers on the other team know they have to pitch him tough. And I mean, there's not a lot of pitchers that can turn around 97 like he did.
Okay, last one for you. Waking up this morning, you probably thought, oh, if we get a win today, we win the game, we win the series, we winning homestand, go to break on a high note, but things haven't really been going our way lately. Today it goes your way. So good to end on a high note, going to the break, I guess.
Yeah, it is. I mean, that's the hard thing, I think, for us and media as well. I mean, we've got, 52 wins or something? It's been a good first half. We have to remember that. We're in a good spot, and got some momentum going in the break, so I think we're in a good spot.
Enjoy your break. Well deserved. All right, Dwayne and Mike, up to you.
All right, Amy, and Amy G, enjoy her break as well, as she does a good job with Buster Posey, and Buster's right. Hey, you look back and you're he was right. 52 wins, and now you start to concentrate a little bit on the second half.
Well, and I think they really did a lot of things right here. When they went into their cold spell, they were having some inconsistencies in their starting rotation. They're not getting that anymore. They're getting pretty good efforts, solid every time a Giant starter goes out there. They're giving their team a chance to win. They've ironed out some problems in their bullpen. The one thing that they're waiting for, and I think this is something that it's inevitable in the course of a season, you're going to have a time when everybody kind of gets hot in the lineup, and certainly 2 or 3 guys get going at the same time. That hasn't happened since early in the year. So I think Bruce Bochy is anticipating that it's going to happen, and they open up with teams that are dangerous. So they're going to have to show up, and they're going to have to be ready to go, because it gets right after the All-Star break. They get the Marlins, and they get the Phillies, and I mean it's game on. So. This is a team that desperately needs some confidence. They got it in this series win with the Diamondbacks, and now they can sit on it for 4 days.
All right. The final score, the Giants 8 and the Diamondbacks 4. Esurance Giants postgame live with interviews, and the wrap is coming up. At first, let's go to the Sportsnet Central studio.